Why, hello friends, this is Soul. It is June 29th, 2018. This is Warcraft Weekly number 101. Today's episode is brought to you by Jessie D. Jessie D, World of Warcraft gold-making addict. She didn't ask for a bump, she got one anyway. Today, Bob is out on the field over in Frostwall, the Horde garrison located in Frostfire Ridge. Bob, how you doing, man?
What the hell is this?
Well, you know what? Ever since the 100th episode, I've got quite a bit of input from folks that were giving some suggestions and things to do. One of them was to, just have you do more than just like stand there and do nothing.
This is not nothing.
Well, you know the other reason, right? You're gonna get some true iron first. That's why you're over there at the mine, and then you're gonna go to the farm, and then you're gonna get me some sumptuous fur. So that way you can make a bunch of gliders, make some gold, so that way I can give some more gold some WoW tokens to the folks at home. And, you know.
This is doo-doo, I don't like it.
Yeah, well, I don't like being broke either, so, hop to it. Chop, chop. Like I said, last week I got a lot of suggestions from folks, mostly because I incentivized it with a contest. The contest I would consider is closed right now, however, I have not decided on a winner yet. I mean, I can kind of like BS one together and say, yeah, I've thought of it, and I put so much time into selecting it, but I'd rather not pretend. I'm gonna have a contest winner announced next week. But in the meantime, I want to thank all of you for your very, very valuable feedback and the awesome I'm already talking too much. Let's get right to the news. The biggest news of this week would be, I guess it's that thing with our artifact weapons. The final artifact questline has finally been made available, where we take our storied and ancient weapon of yore, raise it up into the sky, point it as hard as we can, and, basically just, use the whole giant sword as like a big old piece of artifact power. That's literally what it is. Because it superjacks all the artifact weapons on your spec, maybe it's 2, maybe it's 4, all the way up to the max. And even then it's not done. It's powering up slowly over time until it just explodes, I guess, because as we know, we're not going to be able to use it in the Battle for Azeroth expansion.
Oh my god, I could feel it.
You can feel what?
The power. The power!
Moving on, Ian Hazakosis, the game director for the World of Warcraft, did an interview with Forbes magazine. Pretty much nothing new was revealed other than to solidify the fact that the events in Darkshore and Teldrassil, they're not meant to provide XP boosts like they did in Legion, but merely just some gear upgrades and catch-up stuff. Also this week we've been getting continuing official previews of some of the game systems coming into the Battle for Azeroth, including War Mode. So in other words, we're getting the news. I mean the official news, not just the data mined information, not just the stuff that we read on MMO Champion and Wowhead. I'm talking about the mainstream audience, the people that have effectively just disconnected themselves from WoW, and this is Blizzard's way of reaching out and getting to these these players that are on hiatus. Hey son, did you hear about this? The new Azeroth gear in the Biffa expansion?
I know, Dad.
I'm not your dad. Meanwhile, come to me for the latest news. My Wowhead notifications are on point. Speaking of, quote, real news, Wired just released a video starring Ian Hazakosis, Patrick Magruder, and Jimmy Lowe to talk about pretty much the entire history of the World of Warcraft. It's 50 minutes long. It's pretty much the kind of thing you want to listen to while you're doing world quests.
You already watched the whole thing?
Yeah, that's what I'll tell them.
You should edit that out.
Of course. Another big piece of news, as Blizzard had promised, the Mage Tower is finally active. Forever. Okay, it's not going to give the cool reward forever, but it's going to stay up. Now players are coming from the wetwork with their supercharged artifact weapons ready to crash against the Mage Tower challenges. And we only have a couple of weeks yet. Have you looked at your client? Are you in beta? Well, does it matter? What I mean is that if you look at your Battle.net client, you'll see that you're starting to download the stuff for the pre-expansion patch. Oh my god. Oh, he's not here.
Yeah, I'm here, you jerkface.
Do you miss me?
No.
Then keep farming. So the patch is coming soon. The things that you've been trying to farm for and achieve before it all goes away in this patch, just hurry up. Mage Tower, Mythic achievements, first aid, etc, etc, etc. Blizzard even released an article to help you folks along with all this stuff that's going away. We had a new beta build come out this week, and predictably we're seeing less and less major reveals coming out of it. Hey Bob, you take this one.
What?
Yeah, I already took down the camera setup. I don't want to do it again, so this is all you, buddy.
Oh my god, I'm doing an article. Wowhead did this thing. It looks like in Biffa we can get up to 3 cool items in the Mythic weekly chest. Right now in Legion you only get 1 or 2, but now you get a chance to get a 3rd, which is great because everybody loves RNG. Now let's contrast my sarcasm with some well-placed comments.
RNG in the weekly chest, very bad.
I really don't want even more RNG in getting gear, forced personal loot, random amount from items from the weekly chest, and on top of that, Titan forging. This is for the best, I think. More items means that one is more likely to find a piece of gear that they like in the chest.
Fix that senseless RNG. Now. Only casual players gonna like that, and the sad thing about it, there are 98% casual players.
Fix that senseless opinion, now.
So a casual can take 3 items and a raider 1. Nice again, Blizz, with that $, percent sign, ampersand in RNG.
Why not 1 to 100 pieces though? 3 seems kinda low.
One of the more curious things that data miners pointed out revolves around time walking. Time walking events are being predictably updated for max level players, which is 120. However, one thing is missing. Okay, maybe it's not missing, but it hasn't been put in yet. Warlords of Draenor time walking. The typical paradigm as we've seen it is to have time walking from 2 expansions ago come up when we were at the new expansion. Keep in mind that Mist of Pandaria time walking didn't come out until a little bit into the Legion expansion, so I expect the same thing to happen here. But in case you were curious and you were really dying to get into like Iron Docks time walking, you're gonna have to wait a little bit. One of the more controversial things that came out of this build that I didn't really have time to talk about this week was the idea that the World Quest Finder kind of UI, it's been changed a little bit. Right now, add-ons like World Quest Group Finder are able to pseudo-automate the ability for people to make groups in World Quests regardless of the difficulty. Now that kind of functionality is only going to be reserved for what are being labeled as group quests, or basically the things that have the elite thing around it. So going forward, it won't be easy to simply click a button and be able to find a group for just any old world quest. You can manually type in the name of a quest to either make a group or to find one, but the one-click automation at the moment, it's going away. I think this is a great thing, making world quests and grouping for them much more immersive, and the public at large certainly agrees.
Those new group finder restrictions sucks. You can't even paste group name and description anymore. Only manual input allowed.
I wonder why they made these restrictions. Feels like removing one quality of life feature.
You must be FC King kidding me. This will increase the time spent in World Quest a lot. This is going to be the worst iteration of WoW by a mile. Beta is liquid in D-tier game design, far and away the worst Blizzard product ever made, and every new announcement is just more pruning or nerfs. Are they trying to kill off the game, or did they just bleed another giant chunk of talent? Clearly, we can go over this debate until we get blue in the face. But speaking for myself, I very much do understand the monotony of doing world quests over and over again. This is whether or not you're grinding for rep, or some special prize in the end, or you're just getting started on a new character. But I guess I'm just not too much of a fan of showing up for an objective, clicking the button, automatically getting grouped with someone, and then once you're done with that particular quest, you tend to break the group and then move on to the next thing and repeat the process. It has a very single player feel to it, and it really makes the joke of the
Yes, group up with the faceless pugs
seem like a very real thing. Funny enough, it does make me think of something like Diablo 3, where people will get into lobbies or community groups, and they'll group up together before they start these world quests, and then they wander around together, knock a bunch of stuff out, and then the group breaks. I think that's what Blizzard might be trying to achieve, or what they might have been intending in the first place. It's just that unlike Diablo 3, it takes a lot longer to travel from place to place. But don't just hold me to that, I wouldn't mind hearing your thoughts in a comment below. The other week, Ian Bates, aka the Red Shirt Guy, posted his concerns and misgivings about the events in Darkshore and Teldrassil. No spoilers incoming, by the way. But what I did do, and this video thing behind me is full of spoilers, I went ahead and played through the Alliance and Horde versions of this questline to see if there was anything weird going on. Red Shirt Guy asserted that the questlines just didn't make sense. They were broken, they were inconsistent, and, it might have been some bad writing in part of Blizzard. After going in, I concluded, aside from some minor hiccups there, this first part of the battle for Darkshore and Teldrassil is going just fine, and there is nothing more to glean from it. This whole thing is just one big conspiracy. The thing which will eventually go live will be 100% different. And now from a more serious note, it was Malfurion. He burned the tree, and I bet my testicles that this Malfurion is not the real Malfurion.
I bet my non-existent balls that he is responsible, and it is the real Imperial Malfurion because he is a corrupted jackass.
Bad writing is all. It's Blizzard. They make good raids, and that's about the only thing WoW does better than the other MMOs.
Red Shirt Guy puts out some hot, juicy tinfoil hat theories to rile up the fringes, and you come in to stomp it out with your reason and logic. Shame on you, wet blanket breezy. The conspiracy is that the Firbolg blew up Teldrassil. They had enough of the genocide and got help from the Zoth.
I just wonder a bit if Blizzard is not giving the whole story on purpose at this moment, and a true storyline will pop out when the pre-patch is released.
Conspiracies abound? Probably. This week's featured YouTuber, which I managed to do, features John
Base.
John Bass is, like me and you, wherever you are, a fan of the World of Warcraft. He's also a brand new YouTuber offering his own form of humble commentary. He and I sat down for quite some time to talk about lore, the game, certain developments, some of our concerns. It was a lot of fun, and I can't believe like 2.5 hours went by like that quick.
Still can't get off this whole Garrosh thing, man.
Go on.
It bothers me. And
Which part
when you
bothers
think
you?
about the scenelit of Thrall and Garrosh's Makarov, Garrosh made some super amazing freaking points, man. He made him who he was. He made him war chief and then abandoned him with no guidance. Like, how is that his fault?
Oh, I definitely see that too. Like, Thrall's lines I found to be incredibly unconvincing. Basically, all Thrall said in response was, "No, I did not. I didn't do it. It was you, buddy."
Right, bro? It's like somebody trying to blame their little sibling for something. It's like, but he didn't. No, I didn't. That was all you.
Granted, Garrosh dropped bombs. It's not like Thrall told him, "Hey, you know what? You know what's great about being an orc? Dropping bombs on our enemies." All right, I'm gonna save the world. Bye. There's a link to his channel down in the description below, and I encourage you to take a look, because it's not just the voices of the bigger channels and streamers and YouTubers and whatnot that define the opinion of the World of Warcraft and Blizzard. It is a collection of the opinions and the crass and the garbage that comes from all of us. So that pretty much wraps up the week. I hope you had a good time today and this week. I'd love for you to share a little bit of your story in a comment below. How was your week? Celebrate your wins, your losses, the drama, whether or not you got in the goddamn beta yet. I apologize. I did actually want to get even more content out this week, but I just couldn't get the time together. And to be honest, by Thursday, I just kind of burned myself out for a little bit. So I'm going to try to work on that and make sure that, one, I can still get out the kind of content that I want for all you while not going insane.
I'm going insane.
Hey, get back there and make me some gold. Jeez. Anyway, stay tuned for next week. I have some more awesome content and some changes to the stream coming. I look forward to seeing you next week. Again, a big thanks to the patrons and the supporters who've been helping me along. Pretty please, like this video, subscribe, share me with others, and consider supporting the channel so I can keep giving you this and all things Warcraft. I'll see you next week, and until then, stay safe, stay happy, and stay breezy.